Hi there, my name is Dr. Robin Walsh and I'm a naturopathic doctor here at Vibrant Living, and this is my weekly wellness series. We've talked a lot about what I consider the four pillars of health. This is the third pillar today, which is movement. We've probably all been familiar with this new catchphrase that sitting is now the new smoking. Where that came from was there was a meta-analysis done of over 18 studies and over 700,000 participants, and they found that those that were sedentary with less than 3,000 steps a day had a 112% increased risk of diabetes and a 147% increased risk of cardiovascular disease. When they compared those that were sedentary to those that were smoking, they found that they also had similar rates in terms of mortality. There's another great resource or book by Tom Rath that's called Eat, Move, and Sleep. And it shows that sitting over 6 hours a day, regardless of sort of other healthy habits, whether you exercise, whether you eat well, relates to an increased risk of early death. So movement is really important. For those data heads or those that like sort of more being able to track, Fitbit I think is a great option. So they're saying that 10,000 steps a day sort of will get you out of this risk factor. So wearing that would be fantastic. I'm not much of a data head myself, so I just like to make sure that I'm moving sort of as much as possible. So movement would obviously be, you could go for a walk, you could sort of vacuum and do some housework. All that kind of stuff would be sort of considered to be movement. Sometimes this just isn't possible though. So for example, for myself, I work a couple of really long days and I'm sitting the majority of those days and there's not a lot of time to sort of get the movement in. So even if I'm doing my little 15-minute HIIT workout, obviously this new research is showing that that isn't really as optimal as we could get. So on these days, some suggestions that I have for you, especially if you work in an office, would be things like parking on the other side of the parking lot and walking into work, trying to use the stairs when possible. If you're going for a water break or a bathroom break, trying to use the bathroom that's farther away. I don't have those luxuries. We don't have a very big office. So I've been trying to do things like when I'm preparing for these webinars, for example, I stand. If I'm talking on the phone, I stand. If you have the ability to have a standing workstation, that's awesome. But for me, in between all my clients, I'm trying to stand up, whether that be to walk up the stairs to go to the washroom, whether that be to get a drink of water, whether that be even to walk around my office a couple of times. I'm trying to make movement a priority whenever possible. Some sort of options at home. When you're watching TV, you can kind of pair that with movement. So it's always been suggested the idea of commercials, getting up every commercial and sort of walking around during those, 2 to 4 minutes. If you watch cable, many of us don't watch cable anymore and are doing something like Netflix. So in between a show or even while the show is on, trying to just sort of stand up and walk around. If that doesn't sort of entice you, you can look at even other options like trampolines. So there's like a $60 trampoline you can get at Walmart and you can just sort of bounce for 20 minutes when watching TV. Or there's also those portable pedal bikes that you could just sort of pedal either at your desk or at home. So I think the take home is just that regardless of whether you exercise, do your HIIT workouts, go to the gym for 30 minutes, we really need to make sure that we make movement a priority. If you found this video helpful, I would be so greatly appreciative if you would like it or share it. And thank you so much for watching.